Welcome to Slim Nation's One-on-One podcast with conversations featuring the host, James Slim Overton.
Well, welcome everyone to the Slim Nation One-on-Ones podcast. My name is James Slim Overton, and I'm here today. Well, you're used to us being on at 8 o'clock in the morning, but we made some adjustments, and I told you if we have to make adjustments for our guests, we will do it. And we have some special guests here with us today. Dwayne Burrell, the home health chef, and we'll talk about that later. And Jason Wells, a fellow Greyhound and Viking slash Spartan. So anyway, but HBCU. So we appreciate that. But then, welcome, gentlemen. How you doing?
Doing
Good,
great.
bless. Thank you for having us.
Yes, appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks. Thank, thanks for being a part of this. I first I was alerted, not alerted, but I was informed about you from Portia Bryant, and she told me about Doctor. Let's see what his name, Doctor Tyrone Davis.
Davis.
And I don't know if you're old enough to remember, not the singer Tyrone Davis, but Doctor Tyrone Davis. Uh, and I talked to him, and then he referred me to you two gentlemen. So we have this event coming up, the Fatherhood Mentoring Program Community Health Fair, and for men. And he told me that you all were kind of involved in that. So first, tell me how you were involved in that, because we're going to talk about some other things too, as far as men's health are concerned. But tell me how are you all involved in that event that's coming up on June 12th?
I'll let you lead.
Okay. So first of all, we appreciate you having us on here today. Shout out to Portia Bryant for making the
Yes.
connection and making it happen. Uh, the Fatherhood Program initiative is to help fathers navigate through the trials and tribulations of fatherhood, right? And from that, we tackle different issues when it comes to mental health, physical health, and just men being able to come together and fellowship and help each other. So our program maturates from not just being the fatherhood, but just helping men become better men. And one of the parts of that it trickles to is it has our physical health. So Dr. Davis, I believe this is year three. He's created the community health fair for all men. First of all, it's free. We do things from health screening, cholesterol checks, uh, the different wellness. I believe we have Centera. You know, the city of Portsmouth has graciously given us what is it? The Renaissance Hotel where we'll be hosting that. That'll be June the 12th. We also have the Department of Health. We have Gen Care, and then we have individuals like myself and Dwayne, and we're just trying to be servants and look and give back to our community by helping men better their health.
And what I can add to
Okay,
that
that
is,
sounds good, Dwayne.
okay, I was saying what I can add to that is that I've been a part of this program since about 2012. And I cared about this program where men were coming together and being able to have a platform where men can actually come together and have a brotherhood and have other men to come together to deal with the issues of life. But most of all, what the program actually offers is men the opportunity to learn how to become conscious thinkers. So that's one of the main things that we discuss and talk about, and socialization and how we're socialized. And we learn everything from in that session from in the sessions from learning how to tie a bow tie to financial stewardship, and everything in between. So men's health, me myself being pretty much in the wellness industry. I mean, my brand, the Home Health Chef, is basically, something I created back in 2006, was a platform to help people to be able to have another alternative when it comes to having a meal or a function or a gathering. Because, most of the time when we go out, we see the same things all the time. So I connected with Dr. Davis and the program back then. And, and I do things like healthy cooking sessions and just show people how to put a healthier spin on their meals. So from my perspective for the group, I also was master fitness trainer in the military, and also recently gone to school for personal fitness trainer. So my thing is to bring the whole wellness together, with the food, the fitness, spiritual, physical, and that program that we're part of is the same thing. It talks about all of that, like Jason said, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, financial, economic, all of that. We bring all those things together and show men how to come together to be more consistent fathers, but also being more educated and just being more prepared to deal with the different trials and tribulations that comes with being a father.
Okay, so yeah, a great program. It sounds like. Hold on just a minute. Sorry, technical difficulties here. Okay, I think we're straight now.
Okay.
Gentlemen, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
We can.
Yeah, it sounds like a great program, and it's very important for us men to be aware and conscious of all these things that y'all plan on doing that day. So what? And I'll start with you, Dwayne. You are the home health chef. What started you with that? I mean, is cooking always been something that you enjoyed to do, and then as it
Always.
evolved with you, it became more of a health conscious thing?
It really began for me as a health conscious from the start. But I started really early. I started at 14. And I'm 59 now, so I actually,
Oh,
been in
wow.
the food industry, like I said, over 40 years in food service management in some capacity. And back in 2006, when I was finally doing what I thought was going to be my last call for working in the corporate world, I started my own business called the Home Health Chef, because I wanted to do something that was, the last facility I was in, I was actually in a retirement home, and I had the opportunity to cook for, for people who really appreciated having a good meal when everything else in life might not have been, been able to do the things they wanted to do. But one thing they really paid attention to and made them look forward that day was to having a good meal. And most of the time, as we get older, even if we don't want to eat healthier, we're kind of pushing in that direction if we want to make sure that we don't stay in the doctor's office all the time, or if we want to stay around. So I just kind of went to sleep one night. God kind of spoke into my spirit to start something, and I'm like, well, what do I have? And he basically told me to use what you have. And I woke up the next morning with the brand name, the Home Health Chef. I went down to the city of Portsmouth. I was the first person registered as a personal chef. This was back in 2006. Now, of course, today, you have personal chefs everywhere now. But my entry into the game was mainly to give people an alternative, and I was going to be more conscious about those who have diabetes and those people who have health restrictions and who's vegan or vegetarian. And I just wanted them to be able to, when they go out or have a function, me as a personal chef or a caterer, I just wanted to offer them something a little better. And when I say a little better, what I do mainly,
Yeah, and shout out to Grove Baptist.
Grove, that's my place.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Grove Church. I saw where you were a member. So am I. I grew up in that church. So it's
Yes.
grown big now. You can be a member and not even know everybody that's there. So, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Look, while we're
Yeah, I
shouting
would
out,
go to Jason. Jason, you
Yes, sir.
been an athlete. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
no, I was saying while we're shouting out, I better shout out Oasis, because I'm
Oh,
also
okay.
the chef
Got a little
at
delay. That's
Oasis.
why
So
we go.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I said I'm also
Yeah.
the chef at
Yes, I heard you.
Oasis.
And thank goodness for the
I think we got a little
And thank
delay here,
goodness
but
for the Grove people, the Grove members that come in there and assist you.
oh yes, they were
Yeah,
there
it's a
today.
little
Matter
delay.
of
I'm sorry about that. I don't know why, but
yeah, they were there today, and they come and help
mhm.
me every Wednesday and Thursday, and it's a
Okay.
great thing to have the Grovenians in the house.
How about that?
Yes,
We come through outside of the walls of the church. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, Jason. You have been an athlete. Okay, of course, you played at IC Norcom, the great IC Norcom, and just like I'm gonna have a kinship with Dwayne with our church. I have a kinship with you as a fellow Greyhound and as a fellow CI HBCU district. So you've always been sort of into to health. It didn't end with you in high school. So you continued on, and even after college, you continued on a healthy lifestyle. So what was it that kept you continuing on and making sure that you were aware of your health and helping others be aware and practice good health?
Well, my foundation actually started with athletics growing up as a kid, simply riding your bike to practice, running, jogging, walking. We didn't know it, but we was already stepping without even counting our steps as we do right now, right? So it just transformed and maturated. And a part of the process for me was going to college and using athletics as an avenue to get me there, right? But once I got there, I actually discovered more about me. And a part of that was not only my spiritual background. Shout out to Grove because I was also a member of Grove. So I know our delays are all about mariner minutes, so we all can be patient
Oh,
with that.
okay.
Hey,
And the other part is once we got there,
How about
uh,
that?
right, you would just see individuals that were not as fortunate health wise. So walking with people, talking with people. Hey, that started my journey on trying to prepare in my own meals because I got tired in college of eating McDonald's and going to Burger King and eat. And I was like, man, I remember my first phone call was to my grandma at Norfolk State, and I asked her, I said, Grandma, how do you fry chicken? But then I realized, like, man, I don't want to fry my chicken no more. I want to be a little more healthy. I want to bake my chicken. And so it just began the journey. Um, I started helping kids probably in 2006, and I literally started like right out of school. I was like, man, you guys can go to school, and if I did this, you can do it too. And I got challenged. Somebody said, well, prove it, help me. And it started with one kid, and next thing you know, it grew into kids not just in the local neighborhood but in the city, and then from the city to the 757 to now we service young student athletes all the way from New York to Texas, whether it's virtual, like virtual training, whether it's coaching, whether it's through the recruiting process, whether it's just the mentorship, giving that positive reinforcement, letting the guys know that here's a player's pathway that we can give you to help you on your own journey. And our paths are all different. And actually, my program was created off of the pitfalls and the shortcomings that became my story, right? And so I just want these kids to have the opportunity to better themselves. And that's kind of how Hype Factory came into fruition. We're a physical location based out of Portsmouth. I mean, we have event space, we have athletic turf, we have a learning lab, we have a dance studio, we have um, we have a lounge, you name it. We have massage therapy in there. So we're pretty much a little bit of everything. We're incorporating a little bit of mental health in there, a lot of mentorship, because we build our community through our young people, right? And so through our young people is the key to moving forward. And it's very imperative right now that we show these young people by example that they can do better and there's more out here than what they see because that's how our dreams are minimized. And if we start minimizing our kids' dreams, then we limit their expectations on where they can go. And that's about Hype Factory.
Well, thanks a lot with those very important Mariner minutes. But look, I want to ask you all now, the two of you now, it's also important that we are aware of our physical being, but a lot of times people overlook our mental health as well, and that's a big piece, as far as us being well rounded, as far as our health. And a lot of people, it used to be a stigma in our African American communities where we didn't want to admit or say that we might need some help with our mental stability. So, how important is it to include that part of it in this program, the mental health factor?
Well, that part, the mental health part, is essential because where the head goes, the body will follow, right? So we have to start thinking from the cerebral part of it. You know, our thoughts breed our actions. Our actions are then breed into how we maneuver and operate with our joints, which is our vessel, right? And that's the one thing about our vessel, our temple. We're granted one, and it's important not only what we put into it from a food standpoint, but just a thought process. What are we watching on social media? What are we watching on TV? What are we observing in our regular day? How are we letting the outside entities integrate itself into our daily life? And are we being influenced? Are we being the influencers? So our mental health is very important, and that's why the fatherhood program is such a vital part. Um, Personally, with my being and my personal growth, because it allows me to safe space to be able to communicate in situations where I might have not been able to have that outlet. And a lot of us, as men, we don't want to go to the doctor. We don't want to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist. So it's an excellent alternative. And these are some of the health form is just birth from that idea of just trying to be better mentally, and that transitions to you physically as well.
And if I may add to that,
Yeah, thanks,
um,
Dwayne.
yes, and as far as the mental aspect, I mean that's the one thing that we focus on in the program about, you know, using our minds and basically it's like Pastor Mentor always say too is you can't rise to low expectations and you can't really set expectations until you know who you are. And so basically, well, that's part of it, trying to teach men, not about just who they are, but we talk about history, about how we evolved to be where we are. And then we talk about, where we are now and where we want to go. And then we, provide the tools, to all the different men to be able to get to those places that we want to go. And we talk about the different issues that we have and just help each other to get a better, different perspectives on how things work for us or in a situation to share with somebody else who hasn't necessarily gone through that. And through the opportunity of sharing openly, we're able to, help a lot of people to um, turn some corners that they might not have turned if they didn't have the support or the input from other brothers.
So there you go.
Okay, yeah, thanks. And it sounds like I'm a plan on being there myself, and me as a heart transplant patient, I know is to to be aware of your health and make sure you keep those appointments and do preventative things to make sure that you don't get to the point like I got where I
Absolutely.
needed a heart. That's a big deal. But you don't have to get there, even though the technology is there for you if you need it. But so this is a very important thing, and also a big part of this thing is mentoring young men, and I think you all mentioned that. So, who will you be looking for to participate in this? I guess it'd be men and boys of all ages.
Oh, yes. We hope that even though it's for men, we hope that the women would get involved and help them to get out there. And even though it's for men, if women were to show up, we're not necessarily going to turn them away, but we just want to try to, you know, um, give those men who really, you know, don't really haven't had the opportunity before to have those tools and have those resources to have them readily available so that that they can be on point to be able to make that connection with us so that they can get the trainings, they can come in and check a session out with me on how to cook a healthier meal. So I had a little
Yes,
outside interference
Jason,
there. I got
anything to add to that?
Um,
Oh,
Dwayne pretty much hit it on the head. As he talked about,
yeah,
it is
and
it's definitely a men's health fair, but it's not limited to just men. I mean, just like me and Dwayne are here right now, Dr. Davis, we have Portia, you know, we have men and women behind the scenes actually working hard. So even though we may label it as a man, it's really for the whole community to come out and take advantage of one of just the many great opportunities that's offered in our city. And a lot of times, you know, we'll talk about what we don't have. Well, we need to take advantage of the things that are already put in place because I always know how can we ask for more if we aren't filling up what we have right
right. You're exactly right, and it's might be important for the ladies to come as well because how
hmm
often do in couples or marriages or
now.
relationships
Yeah,
does the lady have to remind
Later
us
on, the
yeah,
to keep our appointments and make sure that we're on top of our game because a lot of times we as men we say we might feel a little pain here and say okay well it'll go away. I'll work it out. But that's actually a sign telling you there's something's going on we need to address. So sometimes we need those ladies there to be aware of what's
yeah,
going on and how to look for signs
so
that we might
signs,
have where they can
yes,
remind us to
yes,
take care of ourselves so we can continue to be there for them.
right.
absolutely. That's 100% right. So
Well,
even with
gentlemen,
that,
I won't hold you much longer, but I really appreciate you. Re- yeah, go ahead.
one of the things I just want to add when we have this health fair
Go ahead. Go ahead.
available at
Finish, Jason. I know it's a
oh,
delay. It's a delay.
no problem. At our health fair, we will have cholesterol screenings for diabetes, high blood pressure. We're gonna do your body mass, prostate screening. You know, healthy cooking demos, fitness awareness. We're also gonna have mental health and behavior. That'll be done by local with like Centera, Humana, Gen Care, the city of Portsmouth, People Pharmacy. So we'll have a vast majority. So we're not going to limit anybody to what they can and can't participate in while they're there. We want to make sure everybody's welcome, and we want to make sure that we're excited to host you.
Absolutely. So for in closing, I guess, Benny, we're getting ready to go. I'll
Dwayne?
just add that this is something that we make an annual event now, and we just want to try to kind of jumpstart the men to try to let them know, hey, it's okay to take care of you, and we want to start them out and give them all the resources that they need to be able to, as far as the mental health, definitely with the fitness, and I'm going to be there doing some live. Um, Demos, doing some healthy cooking, showing guys how to put a healthier spin on things. And we just look forward to, all of the people from the city, the mayor, the vice mayor, some of those other city officials will be there as well. So we just want to invite everybody out. Come on out. Ladies, if if your man won't come, bring him on out there. We just want to make sure that the whole family, make sure that dad, your uncle, your pops, your brother, whoever it is, comes out and be a part of this great opportunity to make sure that they're in good health.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. And before we go, and what time? I know some Wednesdays we have some people have prayer meetings. Bring your prayer meeting to the health fair, and be all inclusive because we're all about working on your mind, body, and soul. Your mind,
So
body,
Yes.
and soul.
absolutely, absolutely. And
Yes.
the health fair does start at 5 p.m. and it concludes at 7 p.m. Um, and we would love for you
So
to pre-register so we can make sure that we accommodate you already. And it will be at the Renaissance Hotel. The address is 425 Water Street, Portsmouth.
That's it.
okay, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Okay.
I definitely appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
gentlemen.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And thanks for coming on. And I apologize for this delay. I have to get that straight. I have to get that straight because I have another show later on tonight. But anyway, I think we made it through. I think it's going to come out all right. But I'm looking forward to having you back again, gentlemen, and talk more about men's health and and who went to the best schools, HBCU. But we'll talk about that as well. But I want you to come back from time to time and just make sure that we continues to talk about how important it is for us to take care of ourselves. Because I always say there's a lot of people out there depending on you. Might not necessarily be financially, but those people want you to be here. So you can't help them and be there for them if you don't take care of your health.
For
So
yourself.
it's
Right.
very important that you take care of yourself, and especially us
Absolutely.
African American men. We are susceptible to so many different diseases because you can take it all the way back to slavery, why we are like this,
Yeah.
high blood pressure
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and all that. So just
Absolutely.
be aware and follow these gentlemen, wherever they back on the show, on Personal Coffee Talk, as well as Slim Nation 101. I appreciate you, gentlemen. And I can't thank you enough because we are all about sharing the good news.
Amen.
Amen. Appreciate you having us.
Yes. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Go ahead. Jason, I didn't know if you had something else to say.
Oh, I just appreciate you having us up here. This is probably one of the things. We will actually have a men's forum, and there's a golf tournament in that same week. So we'll be more than happy to continue to share more information about this event because once we fellowship, we also take care of our health, and then we also have a good time together. So.
Amen. Yep.
Yes. Appreciate you. And take care of those guys on the field, brother. And the home chef, I'll see you. Hope I
Yes,
can
sir.
get a little taste of what you do. I know it has
Come
to be
on down.
good. You've been
Come on
doing
here.
it since you were 14. You got to be good.
Hello.
I will. Just gotta. All right. Take care. I'll see you next
All
time.
right.
And everybody watching, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time. And
All right.
remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share this show.
Awesome.